I've talked a lot about freedom of speech over the years here on this program, and I frequently have gone back to a time when I first was on air and there was this big movement, this big push to create safe spaces on college campuses. Remember this? And the entire premise of it was that the offense of hearing something negative that would injure you was enough to prevent the speaker from saying it, because it first started safe spaces and then eventually got codified into student handbooks, et cetera, at college, university. You couldn't say anything because if somebody was offended, then you were basically charged with a violation. This is what the left wants to do. They want to say that words hurt. And then, of course, it's subjective what words hurt. They can decide what words they can ban. Now, the First Amendment doesn't allow this to really happen, and that's why there's been a lot of pushback to it in the country, and it's not gone very far. But in Great Britain, in Germany, and other countries, in Europe, in the West, this is exactly what the left does. This is what the people in power do. They silence dissent by saying, your words are hurting somebody, thus we will prevent you from saying it. And it's gotten to such a point that even a little girl, 12 years old, showed up to school, to Multicultural Day or whatever the hell this was, wearing a dress with the British flag. Now remember, I've told you that people in Great Britain have gotten arrested for waving British flags because they're waving it in front of Muslims, whatever, and those people are offended by it, and so they're causing distress to a minority group, ... It's happened. This is not a made-up story. This little girl gets in trouble at the school for wearing a dress with the Union Jack, with the British flag. Doesn't this sort of remind you when you hear liberals getting all angry when they see American flags? How dare you have an American flag? This is exactly what it is. Imagine a country, a place where liberals got their way. Well, I give you Great Britain, folks.
For Culture Day, I decided to wear my Union Jack dress to represent the music and the nationality where I come from. It made me feel proud, it made me feel confident. All my friends were saying, oh my god, what a great dress. I walked in and my teacher was like, oh, is that like Ginger Spice? I was like, yeah. It felt normal, I felt proud, yeah. The first teacher I saw, she straight away just took me to go get changed. She didn't want to hear about my dress or see it. She just straight away wanted to get changed and not be in it. Another teacher tried to stop me and said you can't be in that, it's your nationality and not your culture. And some other girl who was wearing her family tradition, like rugby top, got told to change as well. They asked me to come with them and to change into a second-hand school uniform, and then they said that I didn't sign a form. When the head of year did ring my mum and she said she did sign it, yet they still didn't want me to wear it.
This is devastating. Cute little girl here, if you are watching the Sam Cam, 12 years old. I have a 12-year-old daughter, and she would do something like this for sure. So, of course, the girl's dad was very upset by all of this.
I went to the school, pick her up to see your daughter, who's, she's a grade A student, and she's sat in reception like she's being punished for something. She wasn't allowed in school, she wasn't allowed to take part, the school wasn't willing to read her speech, they weren't interested in anything she had to say. She was literally put out to one side and treated like she was doing something wrong, and you could see in her face she didn't, she was upset. It's terrible because this is a 12-year-old child's interpretation of what British culture is to her. So, for example, mine would be perhaps a man with a pinstripe suit and a bowler hat, drinking a cup of tea. A 90-year-old person's might be something else, but this is a 12-year-old's representation of what British culture means to her, and she was silenced and she was shut down, and she wasn't the only one. There was other kids there, and for me, these kids need to be proud of where they come from, and they need to learn about and share their experiences about their culture. And it happens too often these days. People are told to, take your flag down or be quiet. It's not about you, it's not about your culture, it's about everybody else's.
Shut up, Let your country get invaded. Don't fight back. And if you dare be patriotic, if you dare try to say there is a distinct British culture or a distinct American culture, German culture, whatever, you are a Nazi, you're a bigot, you're a racist. How dare you? It used to be that people emigrated, left their countries, immigrated into new countries, and assimilated. But these new invasionary forces don't do that. They're roaming the world, spreading their disgusting way of life, and complicit liberals are allowing it to happen because they sense from it renewed political power. It's absolutely tragic. Now, the schools apologized, of course, but remember, this is what happens when you turn over education to the government in the first place.
I think I got a phone call Sunday evening with an apology from the school, and they did a complete U-turn. And they have apologised and they have realised that they've done something wrong, but this still happens in schools, and this still happens to, British kids. If this happened to anybody else, there'd be an uproar about it.
Damn straight. I can tell you, if it happened to me and my family, they wouldn't hear the end of it. Stay vigilant, folks. The same people that are wrecking Europe are here in our country too. The same politicians, the same mindset. They tried it under, Biden. They tried it under Obama. We are so fortunate to have Donald Trump as president.